shake off any nerves. Hello, welcome to my second YouTube video. This one is going to be a little bit different than the last video. It's the same project, it's the pet nat, but today I want to go over the supplies that I need. So today I want to start from the beginning of what you need to make a pet nat in your kitchen. All right, so step one, you're gonna need to put your fruit into something. So for me, I like to use buckets. So this is a 5-gallon bucket, and I'm gonna say right now, I'm making wine with normal wine grapes. This wine I actually think you could make with other fruit, especially because it's just a standard fermentation. So you're welcome to use a bucket like this. This is just what I prefer. I usually I have 5 or 6 that I use, and I definitely pre-clean them, which is what leads me to cleaning products, which are by and far one of the most important things you can invest in for your home winemaking. So we'll start first with the step 1. This is technically a no rinse cleanser. I use it to scrub and rinse vessels, so you can do your buckets. We have some other things coming up in this video that you can use this on, but with all of these things, please use gloves. You just don't want to touch any of this stuff. It's a chemical. So the other one that's really popular is Star San, which is a sanitizer as well. So you want to get all your solids off with one of these guys. And this is technically a carboy brush, but you could easily use it on something else. It's kind of abrasive. But yeah, so you can get all the solids off, rinse it off, and then you can use something like this or the step 1 cleanser. Next one up is the potassium metabisulfite. This product here is really versatile. In my work, we use this all the time, mostly for preservation or for preserving the wine. But at home, I use this to clean things quickly. And next up, we have our mesh bags. So these guys are great for pressing your grapes, or I did it with blackberries as well. So you get bigger ones, smaller ones. I like this size because you can get right about the right amount, and you can get in there and just squeeze the juice. Now there are lots of devices out there that do that for you. I have not chosen to invest in those. There's little like screw presses where you can press them down and the juice comes out. I just kind of like doing it myself. I only do this type of winemaking once a year, and it doesn't take very long. Next up is our fermenter, which is where you're going to put the juice. So this is a 6-gallon fermenter. This is great. I also have an 8-gallon fermenter, which I like to settle in because it gives the wine a little bit more space. And that way, you're going to have more juice at the beginning and you lose some as you go. Another thing you're really going to want to clean, this is a great use for the Star San. You're going to want to make sure it's really clean going in. Next up on our list of things we need, we've got a pectic enzyme and we have a Camden tabs. And these two things you're going to add to your juice for settling. Now that your juice is settled, you're going to want to rack it. Now, racking is something you're going to hear me talk about a number of times. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to take you're going to take your juice and you're going to use this fancy siphon tube device, and you're going to get the clearest juice you can. So this guy helps prevent solids coming in. Another thing you're going to want to clean, you're going to see that as a normal thing. Basically, this is going to get your clean juice. Now you're going to put your juice in your carboy. And this here is a 3-gallon carboy. It's a little cutie. And on top here, you're going to see your fermenting cap. So this is going to, you put water in it, which allows no air to go in, but the gas to go out. And so you'll see it's popping when it's really going. And I have quite a few of these. It's good to keep the water level up to where it needs to be. And this is going to allow your wine to ferment. Now that your juice is in your carboy, what you're going to need now is the most important ingredient, one might say. You need your yeast. So I bought EC 1818, which is a powerhouse of yeast. It's just really strong. It's good for sparkling wine. It says it on the packaging here. And it's going to be activated with warm water and also this GoFerm. And GoFerm is a natural yeast rehydration nutrient, and this just helps the yeast get started. Yeah, so there's that. And then during the fermentation, obviously we'll go over this a little more later, but We have our Fermate Organic, which is the nutrient that feeds the yeast throughout the process of the fermentation. And you don't need a lot of this stuff, what the volume we're working with here. So I just got my little bag here and it's ready to go. Now that your yeast is in there and it's got a little bit of nutrient, you're gonna need to monitor that ferment. At least once a day or night, doesn't really matter, whatever works best for you. First step you're gonna need to do that, you're gonna need a graduated cylinder. I like this size, it's not too much juice, it's not too little, it's just not the right size. Then you're gonna collect your juice. I have this fancy juice sampler here. You stick it in, and then when you wanna empty it, you lean it up against here. This is pretty cool. You'll see this in action soon. And then we also have our hydrometer, and the hydrometer is the item that monitors the sugar content. Next up on our supply list, we have our bottles, which unfortunately I do not have the bottles I need with me. I'm gonna go for a clear version of this glass. This is an old champagne bottle, I think from a few years ago. But basically it's got this lip here, which is what's going to allow the Emily capper here to screw on. So that's the biggest thing about the pet nat, is it uses the screw caps and then you go like this. I'm not gonna lie, I've never used this thing, so we will find out together how good of a job it does. Okay, so that is everything we need for our pet net project. I admit it does seem like a lot of items, but I will say that a lot of them last a long time. The cleaning products, obviously the carboys, the fermenters, you can wash and reuse them again and again. And the chemicals do last a long time, especially if you keep them in a dry stored place. It's totally fine. To me, this is a great use of resources because it's something that not only I can consume, but I can give away as gifts. And I really just, to me, it's kind of an investment. You're probably asking yourself, where did she find all these things? So there's a wide variety of sources. First thing you should do is check to see if you have a local fermentation shop, even like a beer brewing shop. There's one near me that does they have beer and kombucha and wine and all the supplies I need for pretty much everything. And I love supporting them. If not, that's okay. There's a lot of resources online, and Amazon, if it comes down to it, has a lot of these items. So, you should be able to find them. Most of these places ship. I'll put some links in the description for you, so you can kind of have some sources to go on. So the next time you see me, we should be getting some grapes. It should be exciting. Cheers until next time. Which are 29 millimeters.